Hi everyone, how you doing? Just a quick from the bedroom update because I've just stumbled across something absolutely fantastic. But to tell you what it is, I need to tell you a quick story. You know I like to go around the houses, but I've got to tell you this quick story. So about 2 years ago, and I'm kicking myself, really, I'm kicking myself. I don't know why I didn't take more or all of them because I could have done, and I didn't. But I'll get to a point. So basically, what I did is I went into Oldham local interest. So not the old one where you used to go in and it used to be out displays. I'm talking the old post office and telegraph on Union Street, and that's where they've got the archives. Anyhow, I've been going in, and I would just. I like them archives. I like looking through all them old reels and stuff. In fact, I need to do that again soon because it's fabulous. But anyway, while I was in there, those ladies who work in there, um, they had these books out and they were selling like books off cheap, like old local history books. And to be perfectly honest, most of them I had because I picked stuff up. People have given me stuff. And listen, as I've said before, um, the history books serve as confirmation for me for stuff that I've found because I get my research from graves. Don't get me wrong, some of it, like, yeah, I picked up bits. You get told things, don't know everything. You only learn by what you read, what people tell you, and then you put it in your own words. But anyway, so I was looking through these books, and then this woman said to me, she went, also, we've got all of these copies of Saddleworth Historical Society bulletins. Now, I'd never heard of these bulletins, and I'll be completely honest with you, even though Saddleworth is part of Oldham, or they'd probably argue not, but it is, and it's Yorkshire, but it's still Oldham, right? So even though it's part of Oldham. It's never really been an area of Oldham that's been very intriguing for me. But I think probably because it's a bit posh, but it should be because I'm not doing down Saddleworth, by the way. I think Saddleworth is absolutely beautiful. Really like it. And there's so much history up there. And that brings me to this point. So the woman said to me, these are free, right? And there were loads of them. And I mean, these were going back like decades. Well, let's put it into context. I've just been looking at, I took four. Two from 1972, one from 2009, and one from 2000. Don't ask me why I didn't take them all because I could have done, and I don't know why I didn't. They were just trying to get rid of them. Anyway, I didn't. So someone else will have them, but whatever. I've got these two from 1972. I've actually got three, but for some reason I've only got two in my hands. They're down here. Where have I put them? Where the frig have I put them? Oh no, have I put them back? Are they down here? Yeah, look. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh, I haven't looked in this one. This is the summer one. The other one, I've put it back. Anyway, there's all sorts of stuff in here. In the other ones that are in the back bedroom, it tells story about all these people that passed away and how they passed away and what happened to them. And there's a story of a woman in a coffin. Remember what I've said on all my videos? I've said that, or not all my videos, but I say it quite often that people will pass away they used to pass away in different places and they'd always get brought back. Case in point, Eli Lee's, he passed away in London. He got brought back to Oldham to be buried. He had a big fancy house near Hyde Park, but he came back to Oldham to be buried. John Platt died in Paris of a heart attack. They brought him back to Oldham to be buried. That's pretty obvious because he still lived in Oldham at the time. Who else? His son, he died aboard a yacht called the Norseman. He was brought back to Oldham and buried. But the other thing is as well, Platt's also had a residence in North Wales, which is now, the site of that is now a hospital. But point is, people always got brought back to be buried. It was that's just what happened. And this woman she'd died in New York. She'd lived there for like 20 years. I've got a spot there. She'd lived there for about 20 odd years. Anyway, she'd passed away. natural causes, but they brought her back, and it describes in the note, it describes like what she looked like in a coffin, like what she arrived in, and she was in like this copper thing, and then they opened it up and she was there in a coffin. And I'll tell the story, and I'll do some of me, I'll put some like images with it and stuff. I'll tell the story, but the point is all of that. And the reason why I'm kicking myself is because these are actually really interesting, and they just got like so much stuff in. The point is with this other one, I'm not with it tonight, everyone. There's a page in it, and it says the following was donated by such and such a body. I can't remember the lady's name now. Again, when I go to do the video, I'll show you. And it says these recipes that she's give us. This is 1972. This one, by the way, this is summer or winter, not winter 1972. And it says that these recipes she's given us, but they're out of a family book, and it was a family recipe book that was 100 years old in 1972. Now, that means that these recipes would have been written or between 1872 and, I don't know, maybe the early 1900s perhaps. But this was a really old one, and it gives all of these old stuff, like stuff to remove warts, like stuff you can cook up in your house out of like herbs and other bits and pieces, stuff for rheumatism. There's a hair tonic which I'm going to be trying. And for those that I've just told my mum about it, she went, "Oh, I remember something in the 70s that was for that." I'm not going to give it away, but basically it's the recipe for that. And then in the 70s there was a hair care product that was made on the back of that practice. But also there's a cake that you can make, and it's just a standard sponge cake from what I can see. But the strange thing about it is that the ingredient, it's like 1 1/4 flour. 1 1/4 what? Could it be cups? The only reason why I say that is Americans use the cup system, don't they? And the thing is with Americans, they use a lot of Old English. I'll tell you what I mean. The Americans call autumn fall. Well, we used to call it fall. Like when they went over there and populated America, the English, they took fall with them. That's what it used to be called, and it was us that changed it to autumn. I don't know what year we did it, but I know that it used to be fall, and then we changed it to autumn. But the Americans have always kept it. And there's other things that I can't even recall off the top of my head. But there's a lot of things that Americans have kept from like when things were established that we've changed over time. Now I'm wondering whether now it's 1 1/4 cups. And if you know anything about measurements, and if that could possibly be the case, I'd like you to let me know, because I can't understand whatever else it might be. I can only assume maybe we took measurements over there and the Americans have kept it. If you're American and you know, will you let me know, because I really don't have a clue. Failing that, I'm going to have to try and Google it and work out. But the other thing is as well, I'm going to make this cake, by the way, and I might make it this week. Why not? And the other thing, and it's called Last Forever Cake. That's what it's called. A Last Forever Cake. I don't think it's got eggs in it, you know. I really don't think the recipe's got eggs. That's the strangest thing, isn't it? Anyway, you'll see it because I'll do it. But this is the other thing. It says mix it all up and then put it in the oven for an hour and a half. But it doesn't give you the temperature. But then why would it? Because if you think about it, in the 1800s, before gas, when it was just like fire, you know, it would have just been the temperature that the oven was, wouldn't it? Like a normal oven temperature from fire. I don't know. It doesn't give you anything, just literally so basic. So that's what it is, everyone. I'm going to cook the cake. I'm going to do the air tonic. I've got to cover this grey first, though, because this is coming through. You know what I'm trying to do? Because I'm going to Egypt to end up month. I'm going to take my hair dye with me. But I'm trying to, like, not do the root. For, like, at least under the week, it's all coming in at sides, all the grey. I'm trying not to do my root for at least, or at least I'm going to try and get away with it for another week and a half or something. I don't know if I can. Maybe I should just colour it, actually, because I'm going to take my dye. Oh, I don't know, everybody. Anyway, that's the situation. So the other thing I'd like to say is, for those of you who've seen it, I've done a new type of video, and I'm going to be doing a whole lot more than them. I've actually recorded 3 other stories, Oldham specific, but I will be doing other stuff like outside of Oldham as well. I want to do a lot of like folk tales and ghost tales and stuff, because I know so much. The challenge is recalling them and then putting them into, like, because you know me, I mean, look at me now, I'm waffling on, and when I do my recordings for my stories, I don't do loads of editing. I just basically do what I'm doing now and just roll them out, and it is what it is. I was listening back to that one that I put out yesterday, and like all these pictures are in, and then, you know, all like these nice pictures, and then you've got me in the background saying anyhow, and you know, so it will get better, everybody. It was like the first one that I've done, but yeah, just to give you a little bit of an idea on what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be telling the ghost of the Grand Theatre. I'm going to be telling the story of King's Theatre. Now, these are theatres. I'm not doing a theatre theme. It's just how it happens to be. So I'm going to be telling you a ghost story around the King's Theatre, but I'm also going to be telling you about the death tunnels. Now, the death tunnels I've featured on the channel when I've did them live. However, I'm going to go into the story in a bit more detail, and I'm going to show you a few bits and pieces. And I'm also going to be doing the ghost of Thomas Henshaw. And while I'm telling the story of the ghost of Thomas Henshaw, I'll also be giving you a lot of historical facts around the things that Thomas Henshaw influenced and where he lived, where he worked, etc., etc. So it'll be a different take on stuff that I may have touched on in videos or may have given a lot of detail on in videos, but it will be more of a visual to the story and pretty much a point in time rather than just, you know what I'm trying to say. It'll be a story. It'll be a tale. So we'll see how things go anyway. I'm not going to just rush anything out. I want to make sure that they're good. And also, I've got some personal ghost stories that I'd like to tell. And I would also like to tell the ghost stories of the people that watch the channel. And people have emailed me their ghost stories. So I will definitely be putting those ghost stories together and telling the tales. If you want me to feature your ghost story on the channel, you need to give me the story, and you can do that by emailing ukgraveyard@gmail.com. But I encourage you to put a note at the bottom of this video once you've done it. And the reason, once you've done it, that is, and the reason why is because what sometimes happens is I don't tend to check the email, which is stupid, isn't it, really? Because people could be in. And in fact, on that score, I'll have a look now. But anyway, everyone, that is it. You're probably not going to hear from me now until much later on in the week, but I will be definitely putting at least one other story out, and it might not even be the one that I've mentioned. There's a few that I'm just getting down as and when I think about them. I'm just reciting the stories. So I will definitely pull one together to put out. But also this weekend, weather permitting, we're going to get out and we're going to see a few bits. And that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.